Hello class, in this first video of 3, I'm going to talk about the originally planned final. That's the one that you submit and you're graded on normally. This is the final song in the Hal Leonard book. This is Hey Joe on page 32 of the black and red Hal Leonard book. Now if you go with the normal final, there are two parts to it. Part 1 is just playing this song that I'm going to demonstrate for you in a moment. And part 2 is playing the chords that you've learned this semester. So the chords is easier to discuss, so I'll talk about that first. So of all the chords you've learned this semester, I'm going to put all of them into that wheel of names that I've used to randomly generate chords, and you will have 5 randomly generated chords. You could get E minor, or you could get F sharp major. No, you never know. It could be an easy one or a hard one. It could be D sus2, and you'd have to remember the difference between D sus2 and D7 and D minor and D sus4. And as I mentioned, you get 2 passes. So of every chord we've ever quizzed on this semester, we cycle through, we do 5 random ones, you get to pass up to twice. So let's say you get a hard one that you don't know, you just say pass, and that means that it's like that one never happened, and we just go to the next one, we randomly generate a new chord. You get to do that 2 times. If you've used both of your passes, then whatever the remaining chords are, those are the ones that you're graded on. And they're graded normally. The point value is obviously significantly increased because this is the final, but it's still basically you get 1 portion of points for each finger placed in the correct spot, and then an additional point value for strumming the correct strings. So you do it for 5 chords with 2 passes. Then the song is Hey Joe, and Hey Joe is at the end of the book. Now, it may seem strange, maybe even unreasonable, that even though we just started this book, you're being quizzed on a song from the end. But the reason is, so much of the black and red Hal Leonard book is covering the exact same content as the Alfred book. And some of the content in the Hal Leonard book, such as open chords, we've been doing all semester long anyway. So I think as you get into it, you'll realize, oh, I know how to do all this. The only new element is reading the music in tablature form instead of standard notation form. So looking at this Hey Joe song by Jimi Hendrix, I'm going to start by just playing through it once, and then I'll break down each of the elements. So this is from the top at normal speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat sign. And then that part goes down. Sorry, I wasn't scrolled down far enough. Let's do the outro again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, that's the song. So let's go through and break this down. In the first line, the rhythmic indications, as we've discussed in class, if the numbers just have a straight line going down or up, it's a quarter note. If the numbers are within a circle, it's a half note. For example, measure 2, that first note is a half note on the open 6th string, followed by a half note on an E chord. And I can tell it's an E chord in two ways. Number one, it literally says E above it. But also, if you look at the numbers from the top line going down, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 0. 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 0. That's just an open E chord. So it's two ways to write the same information. And you've already learned it with the chord symbol, but it also shows you in tabs. The other rhythms are exactly like you would expect them to be. On beat 3 of measure 1, it has 2 eighth notes that are connected with a line, just like in the Alfred's book. In measure 3, we see the rest, just like in the Alfred's book. So let's go through measure line 1 more time. So it starts off with that little 3/5. It's a slide, so we're going to slide from 3 to 5. So I'm going to pluck the first 2 strings with my finger on the 3rd fret, and then I'm going to slide my finger up to the 5th fret. And then 3 and 0 at the same time. Just like in the Alfred book, if you see 2 numbers at the same time, it's just like saying 2 notes at the same time. You play them together. And then low, open E, or E chord. 2 5s. 4 5, open E, E chord. That's the first line. Second line, we get a couple of open chords. We get 4 open chords in a row: C, G, D, A. Half note, 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 quarter, quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line, open E, E half note, chord. We're going to see that a lot. We've already seen a lot. It's going to keep popping up. Quarter rest. Then we get to line 4, and line 4 and line 2 are the same. Then there's a repeat sign. We go all the way back to the first measure of line 2, play it a second time. Then we get to the outro. The outro goes to more of a bass line. Repeat. Rest. And that's it. Again, this is Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. It's a great song. It combines pretty much all the techniques we've learned this semester. It has the most basic rhythmic elements. It doesn't have a whole note, but it does have a lot of half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. It combines chords with single line melodies. And really, I would say in the whole song, the most challenging part is the first line. That's that. So that's how you play Hey Joe. Now, if you do elect to go this route, I'm reaching for my phone just to make sure I tell you the correct date. If you do elect to go this route, the way that will work is I'm just double checking the academic calendar. I don't want to say the wrong date on this. You will submit or rather, let's see, final examinations. Okay, so it would be the day after Memorial Day on the 28th. So that is, actually that's just the same day as the concert. So whether you go with that option or the other option, it's going to be due the same day. What we'll have to do is we'll schedule a time for the chords. Or actually, I think what we'll probably do is we'll get the chords out of the way. We'll do the chords next week, so it can be in person, and then you'll turn in your video of Hey Joe on the 28th. So that's option 1. We'll talk a little bit more on class, and again, the big difference is option 1. you're graded on how well this one you're graded on how well you actually play it and how well you can play the chords from memory. Whereas option two, it's just pass fail, show up, pass 100%, don't show up, but say you're going to fail, get a 0%. So as long as you commit and actually show up, with option two, you get 100%. Whereas this one, you're graded on getting the right notes and rhythms and such. Like I said, we'll go over this more in class, but that's it for that video. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.